that can be utilized with your heroes to craft the perfect strategy. So download AFK Arena using my link in the description and use my gift code DON2023 to receive an epic reward. Plus, you'll be helping out the channel. It's your boy Goku, and this song goes out to all my Chi-Chis. And I want y'all to get on the Nimbus and just throw that ass back. Like, Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. I was surprised when Chi-Chi threw it back. I was like, damn, look at that ass clap. I said, go ahead, make that ass pop. You finna catch this Kamehameha. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. That booty made me turn Super Saiyan 5. Chi-Chi threw it back and made my power level rise. I heard Frieza came back and he turned to fight. I would save the world, but I'm preoccupied. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog.
You're watching Unrelented Gaming. This is Beerus, the God of Destruction. Make sure you subscribe to Unrelented Gaming and push the like button for me, or else I'll repel you from existence. Oh, and to make sure to watch the entire video all the way through, and to follow Unrelented Gaming on both Instagram and Twitter. Whiz, enough. On to the video.
With Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89 now officially in the history books, the mystery behind what was secretly found in Dr. Hito's factory continues to unravel, as with Dr. Hito now looking to find out on who exactly it was that broke into his hideout and beat down all of his alpha androids. The million-dollar question now moving forward is, will Dr. Hito be able to find Goten and Trunks and stop them before they find out what it is that's on Dr. Giro's confidential hard drive, or will Dr. Hito finally get exposed for the sinister things he was hoping to accomplish behind the scenes without anyone ever having to notice? As a quick reminder before we go deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to the channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single video posted on the channel, as well as giving this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you simply enjoy the content being shown within the Dragon Ball Super manga and are excited to see what the overall direction of Dragon Ball Super is going to be going forward. And if you would like to learn more and catch up on the previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters, then be sure to go ahead and click down below in the description box in checking out the official Dragon Ball Super manga playlist, to where not only would you be able to catch up on all of the previous manga chapters that you guys may have missed, but you could also check out some of the previous moments that have unfolded and which had brought us to this very moment in time. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for your support, and now let's dive straight into the video. As we kick off Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89, now back inside of Capsule Corp, where a few days have now passed since Trunks had defeated the likes of Dr. Hito's alpha androids, as it was during this time what Trunks was seemingly being shown doing, while at his own expense having a lot of trouble and having to actually be successful at it, is Trunks is trying to find a way to crack the code behind Dr. Gero's confidential hard drive disk that he had stolen from Dr. Hito's factory, as it would only seem as though Trunks is getting nowhere after various attempts of him having to try and break in. So what Trunks ultimately decides to do, believing that his mother's computer probably works a lot better than his, is Trunks heads on over into her office where he attempts to breach into the database, and what do you know, Trunks was now finally successful in breaching through the confidential hard drive security and finding out what exactly was on there, to which what's even more intriguing about the overall situation is Trunks ends up uncovering some very interesting and highly classified information, as the very first thing that pops up on screen for Trunks to see is a biological data chart and full blueprint analysis of a cell embryo, which is what was likely used later on that led into the creation of Cell Max. But either way, Trunks was very...
I mean, when you think about it like this, any version of Cell now that pops up through time will always be stronger than the heroes because their genetics have gotten stronger. But Cell always had the potential that their genetics had. So that's why the story always makes sense for the new version of Cell to be more powerful than the current heroes because he has their potential already. Damn.
Surprised upon having to see this, as he from there went on to put this into question by asking, the heck is this? Blueprints for some freaky creature? But then, out of nowhere to Trunks' surprise, as the computer started to make weird noises, Trunks' computer had now caught a malware virus, with Trunks trying to do his best in shutting all of this down, as Trunks went on to shout, "Darn it, a computer virus! Oh, now I've done it! Oh, they must have loaded this thing with viruses to protect the data! Ahem." Trunks from behind, "Don't tell me that you're messing with my laptop," Bulma all of a sudden went on to shout. "Me? No, I'm just, did you go and break it again? Oh, unbelievable. You inherited plenty of your father's talents, but not a single one of mine. Sorry, Mom." But wouldn't you know, as soon as his little sister Bra was then shown climbing on top of his chair and now being shown having to use the computer herself, seconds later to Trunks' embarrassment, that was when his sister Bra went on to respond to Trunks by telling him, "All fixed." What? Huh. Meanwhile, it's clear that Bra takes after me, Bulma says. "In any case, you've got a special job starting today. You're heading to school together, so don't be late." As next to Bulma, we then see how Mai had appeared all dressed up and ready to go to school. As you can tell based on Trunks' reaction that he is very happy to see Mai once again, in which a little later on, as we from there see how both Mai and Trunks were going to Blue Hall High School, with Trunks doing the honors and walking her to school, it almost appeared as though every single boy who happened to have laid eyes on Mai wanted to shoot their shot in talking to her. But even though Mai is by no means Trunks' girlfriend, Trunks even then still took it upon himself to shoo all of the other males away. We later then make our way into Trunks' classroom, where the teacher had gone as far as to introduce Mai to all of the other students, as it also kind of seemed as though the other students had also taken a liking to Mai, as it was just before the teacher was shown having to assign Mai's permanent seat, where Trunks had gone as far as to raise his arm up by responding, "Here, sir, Trunks, be sure to catch her up to speed." Yes, sir, Trunks says, to where ironically enough, with Mai now being shown sitting next to Trunks, was when Rula had now gone as far as to turn around by asking, "Hey, is it true that you live at Capsule Corp as an employee?" "Yes," Mai says. "So the company houses you and you're working while going to school too? Dang," Compass says. Tell us, Mai, do you have a boyfriend?" one of the other kids asks. "Hey, quit it," Scale Trunks jumps in. "Obviously she doesn't." We actually have a second transfer student today, the teacher says, as all of a sudden, to everyone's surprise, the second student was now shown introducing himself, as the student went on to chime in, "I'm Beta. Nice to meet you," with Rula commenting, "A hot dude too? Nice. Now who will you sit next to?" "Me," Rula says. I'll help him out. Yes, thank you for volunteering, Rula. As you can kind of see the relationship dynamic here, because Trunks wanted Mai to sit next to him because he likes her, and now it looked as though the same thing was going on now between both Beta and Rula, to which a little later on during gym class, with Trunks being shown playing ball with Scale and Compass, there was no doubt that clearly enough Trunks was better than anyone else at basketball on the court after shooting a bunch of threes, with Compass responding, what's with you today, man? You're on fire. Yeah, let's just say that I usually hold back, Trunks responds. As from behind him, he then notices how every single one of the other classmates of his that were female were beginning to cheer him on, with the only other exception being Mai, because it looked as though Mai was preoccupied with something else entirely, to which of course Trunks immediately picked up on, because after noticing that Mai really wasn't paying attention to him was what then ultimately led in Trunks being embarrassed in front of the whole school, because it was only upon having to be distracted where we then see how Beta had managed to swoop in and not only steal the ball in trying to prove the point that he was better than Trunks, but Beta also wanted to show the entire school as to why Trunks was inferior to him. So with Beta now out to prove a point in humiliating Trunks at the exact same time, Trunks even then wasn't going to back down, because upon having to see Beta get ever so closer towards making a shot was when Trunks then took immediate action by teleporting right in front of Beta, to where the moment Trunks was shown getting right in front of him in order to prevent Beta from scoring, Trunks immediately made the assumption that there was no way that Beta was able to get past him. However, upon having to see that a jump shot wasn't going to cut it, Beta quickly found the opening that he needed by crossing Trunks up with a layup, in successfully being shown having to get one up on him by scoring in front of the entire school, which ultimately left Trunks baffled by the very end, because not only did he go as far as to feel embarrassed, angry, and humiliated by the fact that here comes this new kid coming in from out of nowhere and just big leaguing him in front of the entire school, all of the classmates around Trunks that were originally shown cheering for him were now all shown cheering for Beta instead, with the only exception there being Mai, to where as soon as Beta was shown having to now slowly turn towards Trunks by smiling at him was where we then see how Trunks instead had a different reaction, as Trunks went on to utter, "You jerk," as Mai also seems to notice something very unusual about Beta, because Beta's eyes this entire time were acting as surveillance cameras in relaying information back to Dr. Hito, because it was only upon then being shown going back to Dr. Hito where one of his alpha soldiers went on to shout, "Hey, did you just see that blue-haired boy just now? Whoa, he moved at crazy speed. Whoa, oh man, really? Well, is that him?" Dr. Hito asks. "Was he the thief that took you down and stole the discs?" I don't know about that. That guy was blonde." Anyone else have a better memory?" Dr. Hito shouts. But nobody else can seem to remember any of the individuals that broke in, as the alpha soldier went on to chime in, "We're kind of forgetful on the account of our rotting brains, you know. Real sorry for that, Dr. Headcase." "Oh, it's not Dr. Headcase. My name is Hito. Oh, I guess that's what I get for cutting costs when making all of you. If only I had installed a security camera in the factory." In any case, our only clue is that the culprit has superpowers capable of bringing down androids, and he very likely attends that school. Hunt him down for me, Beta number 1. "Roger that, Dr. Hedo." "Psst, my," Trunks says. "Earlier when that dude beat me, it was obviously a total fluke, you know. I'll show you even better moves on the court next time. Just you watch," he whispers. "Hey, could you keep it down, Trunks?" Mai responds. What's wrong, Mai? Don't tell me you have a crush on that smug new kid." "Oh, don't be ridiculous," Mai responds. "I thought something was off about him. Take a closer look. He's not human." "What?" And with Trunks having to look a little closer, we only from there take a look and seeing the back of Beta's neck, as he himself seemingly had the same patch as the other alpha soldiers did, with Trunks having to whisper, "A ghoul?" "No, I'm thinking he's more like an android," Mai says. "A different type than 18 though." "Oh, come to think of it," Trunks says, "I didn't feel any ki coming from that guy either. Is he another one of those zombies here just to get revenge for what I did?" he asks. "And it seems like he's looking for someone," Mai says. "Oh, luckily none of those jerks saw me without my mask. Damn it, all the more reason that I can't let anyone else find out that I'm Saiyaman X1. Oh, the blue-haired one is awfully suspicious," Dr. Hito says. "Beta number 1, do what it takes to find out if he has superpowers. Roger, Beta responds, as with Beta being shown throwing a football unsuspectingly to the back of Trunks' head. Trunks immediately knew what was happening as he acted as though he was about to tie his shoes by ducking on under, to which as soon as the football was shown ricocheting off the walls and bouncing back and forth, and from there being shown bouncing off of one of the lockers onto Trunks' head but then on top of a fire extinguisher, not only did Trunks get clumped in the head, but also at the same time Beta was shown getting sprayed down by the fire extinguisher, as it looked as though Trunks did get the better of him by having to pull this off, as meanwhile back in the cafeteria, we kinda have a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 moment here with Beta being shown having to toss his soup backwards and shouting, "Oops!" But with Trunks being Trunks and being who he is, he was flawlessly shown having to catch the soup within one of his own bowls by responding, "Wow, for me? Oh, you're the best." Yeah, don't mention it, Beta says. I don't eat much. Oh, you're such a sweetheart, Rula says, and obviously making the assumption that he was going to give Trunks his food while at the same time not knowing the fact that he was trying to embarrass him. Dr. Hito this entire time while observing this was not having a good time in watching, as Dr. Hito went on to shout, "Yo, he's not giving himself away, to find another chance!" As back during math class with Trunks being shown struggling and with Beta looking as though he was getting the better of Trunks mathematically, their teacher had then made the announcement that time was up, with the teacher responding, "Trunks, you didn't get a single one right. Beta was perfect." "Oh, damn it, I lost!" "Yes!" Dr. Hito shouts. Pouring extra funds into his brain power really paid off. Except math problems won't help us find the thief," the Alpha Soldier says. Alright you are, I just needed this small victory. As meanwhile now after school, with Trunks shown walking with Mai and with Beta being shown having to hide behind a pile of lumber, Trunks immediately was able to see him, as he knew exactly what Beta was about to do, with Trunks having to say to himself, "Oh, he's gonna knock that stuff over. Oh, give me a break. Even if I dodge, it'll still hit Mai." As just then, with Beta having to oversee one of the baseballs rolling underneath one of the vehicles, it was from out of nowhere where Goten went as far as to lift the entire vehicle up above his head, and not just being shown retrieving the ball, but also being shown putting the vehicle down, as Goten went on to shout, "Hey, I've got your ball here." That idiot! He knows pulling stunts like that is off limits at school. "Oh, it's Goten," Mai says. "Oh, such power. That's our culprit, without a doubt," Beta says. "He's in my sights, Dr. Hito. Great, now transform and get that disc back." To which that's exactly what Beta does, because just like Superman, as soon as Beta was shown ripping his outfit off and now confronting Goten, that was when Beta went on to tell him, "I found you at last, thief." Oh, whoa, that costume is so cringe. Are you a cosplayer or something? God, is he really gonna start a fight here? Trunks asks himself. Ugh, that's obviously our classmate Beta, Mai says. "Oh, no, don't engage him here, Goten. Don't. I am Beta number 1, Dr. Hito's masterwork," Beta says. "Hito, I've never heard of that guy before. Mark my words," Beta says, "the entire world will come to know the doctor's name." "I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of on my way home now." "No, you don't. You're not getting away." As from out of nowhere, with Beta shown attempting to strike Goten, Goten was shown fortunately enough having to avoid the strike, as Beta was now looking visibly aggravated, as from out of nowhere now a fight ensued in front of the school. Goten really didn't want to go as far as to demonstrate any of his powers to Beta, with Goten shouting, "Hey, knock it off!" "Oh, are they really putting on a hero show?" Rula asks. I said cut it out. School's not the place for this, with Beta responding, "Return the disc you stole from the good doctor." Huh? What disc? Don't play dumb! And with Beta shown punching Goten away, Trunks immediately knew exactly what he needed to do, as Trunks went on to comment, "He's way stronger than those other janky zombies. Damn it. I didn't want to have to transform at school, but now I've gotta. Damn. Sorry, Mai. I gotta go to the restroom before we head home. Mind holding my bag for me?" "Sure, go ahead," Mai says. To which, with Goten being shown falling back, that's when he also went on to say to himself, "Damn it, this is bad. I can't keep playing around like this. I've got to fight back." back! As before having to land yet another strike onto Goten from out of nowhere, in comes Saiyaman X1 to the rescue, as Goten almost gave away his entire identity, with Goten uttering Great Saiyaman X1! Hey, isn't he the one he's real, in the flesh this time. Wait, who are you, Beta asks. Hey, he's the guy! I remember now, Alpha Soldier X1 says. That's Saiyaman X1, he's the fella who beat us up! It's him, Beta number 1, that's the real culprit! So, you're the criminal I'm after, Beta says. Beta number 1, was it? I don't know what you want, but I'm Saiyaman X1, and I won't stand idly by while you attack a student. Get to safety, brave student, Trunks says. As secretly with Trunks being shown handing over his watch to Goten, that's when he went on to whisper, Psst, here's your transformation watch. They finished it in the morning. Aw, thanks, Goten shouts, but then, before he could even realize it, that was when Beta had made his way in by smashing into Trunks by telling him, Now I've got you, where's the disc? Oh, you're a tougher costumer than those other zombies. However, you're no match for me, Trunks says. As with Trunks quickly being shown flipping Beta onto the nearest football field, with Trunks being shown dashing back in by kicking Beta in the chest, Beta, however, had a different plan up his sleeve, because upon having to click onto his belt was where from out of nowhere we then see Beta locked and loaded within a mechanized suit, with Trunks asking, great, what now? Yes, none other than my battle jacket android Beta number 2. To which with Beta number 2's hand being shown having to open and revealing a missile beneath it, that was when Beta proceeded to fire this missile directly at Trunks, with Trunks shouting, Whoa, you idiots! Not near the school, man! As Trunks quickly had no other choice but to grab onto the rocket and redirecting it up in the air, not only did Trunks go as far as to save the entire school from being destroyed, but also saving countless lives at the exact same time, as even Dr. Hiro, upon having to see this, went on to ask, where did he toss it? Over there, Doc! As coincidentally enough, the missile had happened to land right next to the same dock in which Dr. Hito's factory was located, to which not only left Dr. Hito scared for his life because he had assumed that the missile was going to actually blow his entire factory up, but when then going back and seeing as to how Trunks was in fact able to get the better of Beta, it was only after he accidentally knocked Beta on over and having to shake the ground with Mai being shown falling on down, not only was Trunks shown concern for her safety, but at the same time, since she was carrying his bag, the data disk happened to have fallen out at the same time with Beta seeing this, to which when he did, that was when Dr. Hito also went as far as to see this by shouting, Hey, that's the stolen disc! Listen, grab the girl, she must not get away, Hito says, and that's exactly what Beta tried to do, because it was only upon grabbing onto Mai with Trunks shouting, Stop this! Beta's mission now was to not only make sure that he had retrieved the disc, but also making sure that Mai did not leave, because it was before taking off where he then was shown having to release rockets from his backside, which only prompted Trunks in being nervous enough to know the fact that all of these missiles now were heading right for the other students, as he could only do so much to grab on in redirecting each and every single one of the rockets upon also being shown having to explode upon them, no matter what it was that Trunks was trying to do in making sure that none of the other students were harmed. Beta number 2's upper portion was from there shown detaching from the lower portion, with the lower portion continuously being shown firing missiles at Trunks over and over and over again. As the top portion went on to flee, Trunks knew that at that point he needed to do something because of course Beta was now getting away, as Trunks went on to shout, Mai! Beta number 2 has a mind of its own in its lower half, Beta says, to which fortunately enough for Trunks, in comes Saiyaman X number 2, which in fact was Goten, because upon being shown knocking down and stopping Beta's rockets from flying any further, that was when Saiyaman X2 went on to respond, I've got things handled over here, you go save Mai. X2, thanks a bunch. What's this? A second Saiyaman? You can't escape me, Beta number 1, Trunks says. Steam cleaner, high pressure! To which as soon as Trunks was shown unleashing this whirlwind-like spin in which had gone as far as to destroy his entire suit, Beta was now finally at last shown being defeated. However, this now left Mai falling down from the sky with Beta panicking. However, Trunks wasn't going to let Mai fall and hit the ground, so instead, he actually ends up swooping on in and saving Mai just in the nick of time, because it was only upon her having to open her eyes where the first thing that she was able to notice was the scarf that was wrapped around Trunks' neck, as that that in and of itself had gone as far as to remind Mai of her crush, which in fact was none other than future Trunks, as Mai could not believe this herself, with Mai asking, Trunks? Are you okay, Saiyaman X1 asks. You're not hurt, are you? I'm fine. Phew, awesome. I'm off then, Trunks says. As with the mission now complete and the entire school now beginning to cheer the two of them on, they finally were now recognized as being saviors of the entire school by having each of the kids being shown having to cheer them on, as later on with Trunks being shown running towards Mai, with Mai being shown looking towards the sky. That was when Trunks tried to play it cool by running on over by asking, hey, is everything okay, Mai? Were there any superheroes on the scene? Oh man, that sucks that I missed them. It's like some long forgotten feeling just came back to me, Mai says. What do you mean? Trunks asks. Saiyaman X1 is actually impressive as she blushes. Oh, you don't say. Well then, the man behind Saiyaman X1's mask is, but then Goten managed to swoop in by keeping Trunks' mouth closed by chiming in, I'm glad that you're not hurt, Mai. Those two heroes sure are in need, aren't they? Damn it, what's wrong with you, Goten? Damn it, you were about to reveal yourself with everyone listening, you idiot. Oh, yeah, sorry about that, Trunks says. Maybe I'll run into him again one day, Mai gazes, as all a while back within Hito's factory, it seemed as though Dr. Hito was not happy even after Beta returned, with Beta responding, sorry I lost to him. Indeed, that was a total failure, Hito responds. I've never seen such awesome superhero costumes. Did you get their autographs? Hito asks. No, I was fighting them. Yes, of course. They are no more than wicked villains. No matter, at least we now have our targets. The disc must be retrieved at all costs, understood? And now to begin work on the next androids. This time, I'll make ones far stronger and cooler than those so-called heroes. It wasn't Saiyaman X2's red cape just the coolest, Hito asks. Let's start from that. Okay, Beta responds, in which as we only see how Beta was now beginning to overhear Dr. Hito's new sinister plan in getting back at Goten and Trunks, it was only right then and there during that moment where Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89 then comes to a close. Now, not only was this the first Dragon Ball Super manga chapter to kick off the new year with, but this was also yet another Dragon Ball Super manga chapter in which did not feature the likes of Goku and Vegeta, nor even going into detail as to what they were up to, which is a tad bit surprising considering the fact that the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie did in fact actually feature them sparring, so it was surprising to see considering how they both played a secondary role in the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. But what I did enjoy about this manga chapter specifically was seeing all of the tests that Trunks had to go through, especially when Beta came in from out of nowhere and embarrassing Trunks on the basketball court, because not only do I feel like this reminded me and many other people of what Gohan had to go through in Dragon Ball Z when he was in Orange Star High School, but this also went as far as to remind me personally of the events that have transpired in the Dragon Ball Super anime when we saw both Team Universe 7 and Universe 6 actually go at it in playing baseball for the first time together. But not everyone is going to feel the same way about the arc, especially with the way it started. So what I would like to know from you guys down in the comment section below right now are 3 specific things, that being number 1, on a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being atrocious and 5 being excellent, what would you all rate Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89 on a scale of 1 to 5? Question number 2 is, at what point in the Dragon Ball Super manga do you believe Dr. Hito himself will go and confront Goten and Trunks for stealing his property and dismantling his henchmen? And lastly, question number 3 is, do you think that by now Goku and Vegeta have already gotten Broly off of planet Vampa and onto Beerus's planet to train, or do you believe that this specific moment in time has yet to actually occur in the Dragon Ball Super manga and won't for quite some time? Because what I find oddly strange thus far in this arc is we know that Frieza thus far is going to be the end goal for our heroes, and we know that he is currently someone that our heroes are training to defeat because they now finally understand the threat that Frieza is, especially after having to discover his new power. And so my question then becomes, why aren't we seeing more of them, since they're going to be the ones that are going to be driving the story forward, especially after already knowing knowing what's about to happen after all of this occurs, because the end result of Dr. Hito landing himself in prison will be what results in what took place in the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, in thus having to conclude that arc with the defeat of Cell Max. So hopefully in the upcoming manga chapter, which will be that of Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 90, we get to see more of a fast-paced kind of scenario happen instead of having this be prolonged, because we know that Dr. Hito now knows of the boys, we know that he's going to be targeting them, so I think to me it's only going to be a matter of time before Dr. Hito actually finds them. So again, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts and your opinions down in the comment section below. Once more, thank you all so much for being here, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for your time. To where if you just so happen to be new to the channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so then that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of showing your support by giving this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below, tune back in for more. I appreciate you all taking the time to be here with me and everybody else watching this video. So with that being said, thank you all once more, and I'm going to be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy everybody and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming? Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch. Roshi, Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch. Roshi, the fuck? God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell. And we're demonetized. Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
It looks like someone's been doing their push-ups, sit-ups, and drinking plenty of juice. Why don't you and I do some private training?
OMG, I would so love to learn how to do the Kaioken.
You bet! I'll even show you my special power pole technique.
Goku, you are so rad. Dad, we're just going to train. Stop being weird.
The only thing weird here is Kakarot putting his hands on my baby girl!
Daddy, you have done this so many times. When Goten and I were hanging out, you overreacted like a total geek.
I want to take off your problem.
You bastard!
And when Yamcha offered me flowers, you knocked out his teeth.
Hello. You come around here often? Wait, Vegeta, that's your... Oh my god. I flirted with a monkey. I almost committed bestiality. You're still a monkey.
Are you feeling angry, humiliated? Is that it? Fool! You don't know millionaire!
一層パワーアップしてな。この星に食らいついてるあの妙な星のことか。手間が省けたのはこっちの方だ。落ち着いたもんでしょ。相当腕を上げたようだな。 中か。俺にも移動するのが見えなかった。瞬間移動ってやつだ。そうでなくてはつまらん。それで終わりか。つい力が入りすぎたか。つまりお前は永遠に俺を倒せない。終わりだな、スーパーサイヤ人。すまねえ、ベジータ。猿が何匹いようと同じことだ。お前はこのまま行けば俺たちは確実に殺される。その勢い消えてなくなれ。やっとこさ倒したってのに。奴はその自らの能力で長い時間をかけ増殖していったの。俺たちをどうするつもりだ。これからはメタルスーパーサイヤ人を何万人と持つこともできる。いいぞ、もっと吸い取れ。スーパーサイヤ人のエネルギーがこれほどとはな。まだ残っているという。 危ない。脱出するんだ。スーパーサイヤ人の生命エネルギーはこれほどまでに凄まじいものだったと。そのざまでよくほざけるな。
お父さん、あのピカピカのクーラー助けに来たくねえぞ。